The impact of having a narcissistic mother on her daughter can be long-lasting and debilitating. These daughters grow up feeling unworthy, unloved, and never quite good enough. They often internalize the negative self-talk and criticism from their mothers, resulting in low self-esteem. When these daughters grow up, they are faced with even more complex challenges as they find themselves having to contend with their elderly narcissistic mothers, who become even harder to deal with as they age. Narcissistic mothers were not easy to deal with to start with, but they become even more demanding and inconsiderate of their daughters' feelings and needs as they age. They become further entrenched in their narcissistic behavior and less willing to recognize the difficulties that their daughters are facing. The result is a recipe for mental anguish for their daughters. As they age, narcissistic mothers become increasingly demanding and controlling. They take advantage of their daughters' love, loyalty and trust, manipulating them and using them to get the attention they crave. Elderly narcissistic mothers become even more emotionally abusive, making their daughters feel unheard, criticized and even shamed for not living up to her standards. This can create a nightmare of an environment for victimized daughters, who often find it difficult to stand up for themselves. Elderly narcissistic mothers will try to manipulate those around them into providing what they need, expecting unconditional compliance from their daughters. When those expectations are not met, they will lash out furiously. This behavior is particularly galling for anyone trying to help them, as any kindness could be met with explosive anger in response. As they age, narcissists become increasingly obsessed with the loss of their youthful looks and beauty. This can lead to intense feelings of jealousy and resentment of those who are still in possession of youth, beauty, and vitality, such as their daughters. As a result, elderly narcissistic mothers become increasingly critical and emotionally abusive as a way of punishing their daughters for still having what they now lack, their youth and beauty. Elderly narcissistic mothers become even more controlling and domineering in their attempts to maintain power and authority, using guilt, manipulation, and shame to control their daughters. They are deeply aware of the fact that they are past their prime, and this feeling of vulnerability drives them to exert authority in any way possible, including attempting to dictate the choices of those around them, including their daughters. It is difficult to navigate the complexities of dealing with a narcissistic mother, especially as she ages. It's also essential to look after your own needs and ensure that you are prioritizing your mental and physical health. Taking breaks, seeking out a support network, and consulting with a qualified professional if needed can all be helpful in providing guidance and allowing you to take care of yourself first. Ultimately, no one deserves to be treated poorly by another person, regardless of age or status. It is essential to remember this when dealing with your elderly mother. For more posts about narcissists and narcissism, visit www.carlacorelli.com.